already. There comes a starport. Yeah, I think he's kind of read Light here, thinking, well, Light, he's just sitting inside of his base right now. He's waiting until he has a huge amount of troops to move out. But if I can deny that push that is going to come out soon, just kind of whittle it down and keep it from becoming a giant force, if I can do that, I'm going to have a huge economy over him because he won't be able to attack my bases. I think that's Stork's mentality at the moment, trying to chase down these vultures that are going up to harass this base a bit. Those cannons should be just in time. There's one cannon there already, but two are just warping in, and they should be just in time to fend back these vultures. Yet the vultures fought back. They are going to try to lay some tricky mines, however, and now the vultures are going to see the brand new base, and you can pretty much expect Light to move out as soon as he sees this. Yeah, he's going to see the 2 o'clock base. He already has his reinforcements kind of flooding into the high ground area. He has to have a lot of tanks and vultures at this point, just kind of hovering around his natural expansion. There's Stork getting a bit too cavalier with his mine clearing. But there are more vultures trying to move up, lay mines, keep those troops distracted in the middle as he pushes his way up. And surprisingly, he's focusing in on the cannons, thinking that he has enough vultures to take out the cannons, which he does not. But Storky was building some additional, but oh, that one mine hit pretty much every single Dragoon there. That was kind of yikes. So the Dragoons were not taken down, so they'll have time to regenerate those shields, I suppose, but I'm pretty sure they took some damage as well. And that's going to hurt Stork a lot in the upcoming battle. Okay, Light doesn't quite have enough tanks to move out yet. He's just letting Stork expand, though, all over the place. He's trying to do these little harassments. I can tell what Light's trying to do. He's just trying to run out, harass, until he has enough tanks. He's waiting for the right amount of tanks to do this. But, yeah, he's going to fall way far behind the longer he waits on this. Now he has about 8 factories, mostly pumping vultures to get this harassment done. But Stork is in perfect flanking position in the middle. He has his troops everywhere, just has them everywhere. And this is when I think Stork's experience kind of comes into play, when he can really draw back on his previous experiences of fighting back a Terran like this. Oh man, it's just macroing so hard as well. He has 5 bases all running, all basically unharassed. He's lost a few probes at each, but yeah, he just has such a strong economy, and Light's going to fall very far behind if he doesn't attack soon. Light has to attack soon, and I'm sure he knows that. He has his science vessel out front, just got the science vessel ready for the arbiters, so he can EMP those arbiters. I almost said articles, because I'm in journalism, I suppose. EMP the articles and destroy them. Alright, let's see. Look at the army that Stork has. Just look at the mini-map. Huge amount of yellow troops moving around the middle. And Stork is taking his 6th base. Base number 6. Light cannot let this happen. Light is... He's starting to lose already just because he's sat in these 3 bases just waiting for the right amount of troops, throwing vultures away on attempted harassment. But Light is going to mine out soon, and luckily he just unsieged all of his tanks, so he is going to move out. He's going to move out with all those tanks and try to destroy Stork. Easier said than done, especially with the arbiters out front. Here comes Light, huge amount of troops. Both players are pretty much maxed. Light waited until he's basically maxed army to move out, which I guess is smart for a Terran player. Those tanks, awfully powerful. There is one observer out front, kind of getting the scout on this. The tanks going for the high ground area. There's going to be a recall, I think, from Stork. Ooh, recalls into the 3rd base. So Light, he's actually pulling back. He's going to try to get rid of these troops because he desperately needs that 3rd base. He needs to protect that right now. Because if he doesn't protect this base, I mean, that's one of his 2 mining bases at the moment. I'm pretty sure he's basically dry inside of his main. The observers are probably going to look at that soon. But now he's floating back with his command center. Stork was moving down again with an arbiter, possibly for another recall. It looks like he had second thoughts. And okay. Yeah, Stork, look at the amount of gateways. This is like a best macro game or something, because Best is the one who always gets 40-something gateways out, but Stork, he is macroing like crazy. Crazy macro from Stork, but he is going to have to fight back this big push, and if he can fight back the push, Stork is going to win. Simple as that, because Light, he has waited and waited and waited until he can completely max his army off of just those 3 bases. So, yeah, he's got to do it with this push. Got to do it with the push and the reinforcements that he's going to have to resupply this push. So Stork, all he has to do is just keep this push from getting to his natural expansion. Keep it from taking down a base or 2. Because that's usually what a Terran player will do. They'll position themselves so they can take out 1 or 2 bases, or 3, if they can really get the noose on one of those sides of the map. Looks like Light is trying to move up. The Arbiter coming in, but I think it was, yeah, the Arbiter was EMP'd. Looking at the shield on the Arbiter, the shield was 9, so that's probably a good indication that it's been EMP'd. Oh, Stork running into a minefield without his observer, losing a bunch of troops there as well. Nice storms though from Stork, killing almost all of the vultures that were out front. That's going to help him a lot once he gets his zealots in. He doesn't have the zealots there yet, but as soon as he floods in with the zealots, those storms earlier are going to help him a lot, because there just won't be enough vultures to fight back the zealots. Here comes Stork. He's trying to move in with all the troops he pumped from his 1,000,000 gateways at the 2 o'clock position, and he's still pumping from his 1,000,000 gateways at the 10 o'clock position as well. He has 6 bases comfortably mining at the moment. Here comes Light trying to tighten the noose. Stork moving up. Because Light has to finish it with this. Light has to finish it. Light's army is pretty strong, but he has to finish it right. Oh, huge Zealot bomb from Stork. Looks like he caught a mine there or something. The huge Zealot bomb and the storms flooding in with Zealots now, and it seems that most of the tanks for Light are pretty much gone at this natural expansion now. Yep, just a couple of tanks left, and that's not going to be enough to keep on this push. Light's trying to take his 4th base now. He has built that 4th base while he was attacking, which is smart. But now Stork has a pretty substantial army still out in the middle of the map, which he will be able to use to take that down once he sees it. I think he's probably going to see it soon. Yeah, he's just kind of blocking the area where the command center might be. Now he's moving down with some more zealots and troops. He has his Arbiter out front as well. All the SCVs I think Light has are being transferred down to that 6 o'clock position. But he doesn't have the command center there yet. I think that might have actually burned down. I thought for sure that I saw a command center earlier floating over to that 6 o'clock position, but it might have been destroyed by Stork. So he is rebuilding. Yes, he is building another command center down at that 6 o'clock. While Stork is trying to take base number 7. Why not? Let's see how many bases we can possibly take on this map. 6 should be enough for Stork to end it, as long as he can take down Light's 4th. That will basically be the deciding factor here. If Light can protect his 4th, it's going to keep him in the game. If Stork can take it down, it's going to be game for Stork. And to see a big blob of Stork Protoss troops moving in. It looks like he is going to attack. He got the stasis on 1 science vessel. Ooh, it looks like there was an EMP on 2 of those Arbiters. 1 had already done a stasis, I believe, because there was another stasis on the tanks. Here comes Stork moving in. Gotta get those Zealots in, though. The Zealots are the most important part. Get them right next to the tanks. And I think Stork will be able to do this. Kind of a grimace from Light. Like, oh man, I could have won this for my team. But all of Light's troops pretty much destroyed, leaving Stork an opening to take down the 4th base that is just coming up. Light's not letting up, though. Got a lot of vultures pumping from those 8, or probably more at this point, factories inside of his main. And trying to kill everything with the vultures. Looks like Stork not quite paying attention with his Arbiter. Duh! Arbiter goes down. But I think he was basically just focusing on his gateways and making sure all of his gateways were pumping, getting his troops inside the middle so he can go in for another attack. Coming in here for some harassment at this 4th base. Gets a couple of High Templar storming on top of the troops. And he picks back up the High Templar as well, so he can move in later for another attack. But yeah, I think he caught about 5 or 6 SCVs with the storms. which is just enough for the time being. Okay, looking at Stork's army is still pretty huge. The High Templar recharge, ready to go again. Wow, yikes. So yeah, a lot of SCVs taken down that time. That's definitely enough to completely destroy Light's army. Light is running way behind in supply at the moment. He's about 90 behind Stork, who is pretty much maxed again, I think. Oh, another nice EMP on the Arbiters. So the Arbiters aren't going to be able to get a stasis, but I don't even think it's going to matter that much. There are plenty of Zealots to destroy these tanks, and the Dragoons are just going to clean up the rest. GG from Light. Stork keeps Samsung Khan in the game. Macro-focused, Dragoon-focused PvT. Okay, let's move on to the fourth set.